big-ass race truck.
Hey, welcome to Squarebody Stuff. I'm Chad. We're going to do another little walk around today of one of my trucks. I've had some viewers request kind of an update walk around of where my trucks are at right now. Because last year I kind of took a little bit of a break, didn't have a whole lot going on. So they're just curious where the trucks are at, what have I got going on with them. So today, it's going to be squeaky. Before we get into the video, I want to ask you if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Check out my Teespring store link in the description box below. That's where you can see my merchandise. I've got t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and some stickers. I've also got a cat that keeps making a bunch of noise. He won't leave me alone. Also want to put out there, if you want to go check out my other YouTube channel, it's called Regular Stuff. I've got a link to it down in the description box also. And for any of you that might be watching this and you're trying to get your 500 subscribers to get to go to the No Name Nationals, hit me up in the comments below. Leave a link to your channel down there with the hashtag No Name Nationals. Let's see if that helps out. And I'll try to message some people to just go check your channel out, give you some subs. Let's try to get you all to where you can make it to Sykeston. I hope to see you all there. So let's get in this walk around with Squeaky. I'm going to get in there, fire him up, and get him pulled out of the shed here, or the lean-to, get him out in the sunlight where you guys can bask in his glory. Alright, let's hop in on Squeaky here, see if he will fire up. Been sitting for a few weeks. Temperature's not real bad right now, it's around 40 degrees. We'll see if he'll fire up. It'll take him a little bit to prime up. Have to pump him a little bit. Oh, he's trying. Of course, this thing doesn't have a choke on him, so it may take a little bit. those of you who have not met Squeaky yet, Squeaky is my 78 short bed C10. He's got a 305 underneath the hood, an SM465 4-speed. Back behind it, the old dump truck 4-speed is what I call them. 342 gears with a mini spool in the rear. Now I have a video of putting that mini spool in, and I have some videos of what I've done to this engine. Let's get this hood up and I'll show you the big bad 305. And there it is in all its glory. I kind of dubbed it the Old Glory 305 because I kind of painted it the red, white, and blue theme for the Old Glory flag. Right now it's got a 750 double pumper Holley. Got a 2-inch spacer just because this low-rise intake manifold, I needed some extra room for it to flow. Headers, it's got a Summit 1107 flat tappet hydraulic camshaft in it. It's, I think, 480 something on the intake lift and 508 on the exhaust. 230, 240 something on the duration. You can look that up. It's a Summit 1107, not a super huge cam, but it's about as big as what the factory heads will really support. They don't flow that much. I didn't do anything to the heads other than some heavier valve springs. Nothing special there. Just some Z28 valve springs off eBay. The headers are some used ones I got at a flea market. I have no idea what they're actually for, but they fit the truck pretty good. They're, I believe, a Hooker is the brand of them. That's pretty much all I've done to it. You know, time and chain, stuff like that whenever I had it apart. I've got some videos I'll put up in the corner that you can go to, or the playlist where you can see what I've done to it. Ignition is a Mallory Unilight distributor. I've got the nice Mallory coil to go with it. And in the glove box is the control box for the ignition. It is a 2-step, so I do have 2 stages of rev limiting. The first step for when I'm staging at the drag strip is actually hooked to, you can't really see it from here, you can barely see it peeking up right there, but I modified the switch on the clutch to where when I have the clutch pushed in and it's wired into this box, so when I have the clutch pushed in, it'll go only to the whatever RPM I set the 2-step at. I think right now it's around 5,000. I don't remember for sure. But then once I let the clutch all the way out, it goes to the other setting, which is the max RPM. And normally for when I'm actually using it, I think I got it set at 6,800, and it will actually use all that 6,800. I've got to kind of be careful. And you may have also noticed underneath here, I've got some little solenoids sticking out and a fuel regulator right there. It's not plumbed to the actual carburetor, it's plumbed to the Nitrous Express ML1000 nitrous plate I've got hooked up on there. Right now I've got the 250 jets in there. That was what I had in there the last time I took it to the track. I picked up probably a good 3 to 4 seconds from whenever this thing was stock and took it to the drag strip with the modifications to this big old bad 305 and the nitrous plate and all that stuff, which I don't think that's too awful bad. It's still pretty slow. I think my best time is around a 1350 something. I know it's still super slow, but I've got a 305 and this 4-speed is not real easy to shift. I have done some modifications to the shifter, nothing real special, but it's nice and solid and nice and tight. I've got a video of that also. This button right here on the shifter is for the line lock for the front brakes. That way I can do some good burnouts with it. I've got my nitrous switches here. This switch arms the nitrous system. This switch is for the tank heater for my nitrous bottle, and that's for my purge. Now this is my box of hopes and dreams is what I call it. This is where the nitrous bottle lives.
Because race truck.
That's my gravy bottle. Got the tank or the bottle heater so I can heat the bottle up, get my pressure up. You got to try to keep it around, 1,000 psi to get optimum pressure. This tank right here is a fuel tank for the nitrous system. I've got a separate fuel system just for the nitrous plate. I run 110 racing fuel in this for right now. In the factory tank, I just run regular pump gas. Sometimes I mix a little race fuel in there if I'm going to go to the track, just to make sure it doesn't detonate. Keeps it a little bit safe. But this tank here is plumbed into a fuel pump down below. You can see it there on the frame rail. Don't remember the gallon per hour, all that. It's all AN fittings and line going up to the nitrous plate. And yes, I've got a plastic fuel filter on there right now. I do have another fuel pump, a high volume fuel pump, and all the fittings, AN fittings and everything to go from the carburetor all the way back with AN fittings and all that stuff, so to upgrade this. Well, that's pretty much what the truck is now. What the truck was when I got it, I've got some videos pretty much of everything I've done to this truck since I've got it. Just a brief explanation. I got it in on trade. I traded a 79 K5 Blazer that didn't have an engine in it to the same guy that I got cream puff from. It was kind of a 2-for-2 deal. Brought this thing home on a trailer. It didn't run very good. It was supposed to be a 350. Barely made it up on the trailer. I got it to the shop and realized that the adapter spacer they had for the Edelbrock carburetor to the factory intake was upside down, so it was sucking lots of air. Yeah, I'm not sure how they done that, but that's what happened. Fixed that, done a tune-up on it, and it really ran great. I actually believed it was a 350 till I started running the casting numbers, and then realized it was a 305. So it's a pretty healthy 305, so I decided, because on Facebook a lot of people get put down for trying to do anything with the 305, I decided to take this truck and not necessarily prove people wrong, but on the same hand, prove people wrong that you can have fun with the 305. That's been my goal with this truck the whole time, is if you got a 305 in your truck and that's all you have and you want to have fun with it, put a carburetor, intake, headers, and maybe even a cam in it. The 305s really respond to all that, just the same as a 350. Now, they're never going to be a 350. They're never going to have the same power as a 350, but they could still be a lot of fun. Honestly, out of all the big block trucks and hopped up diesel trucks I've had, this is probably the funnest truck I've ever had, because it's just a 305. It's got the 465 4-speed in it. Just hold it to the floor and hang on. If it goes, it goes. If it don't, it don't. But so far it hasn't. I've hit it with numerous times with 250 shot of nitrous. Run it to 68 to 7,000 RPM several times before I had a rev limiter on it. This thing is just taking a beating, and that's what 305s are also known for. They will take a beating. They may be a little underpowered. The bore size is their biggest drawback to making any power. I understand that. I know there's better avenues to make power if I really want to make this truck really fast. If I was really out to make this truck super fast and really competitive, I've got turbo 400 transmissions. As you can see, there's one sitting right beside him on a crate. I've got another turbo 400 sitting around somewhere. I've got 2 or 3, 4 454 big blocks. I've got a cast or a forged 454 crank. I think I may have a couple of forged cranks for 454s. I got aluminum heads for 454s. I could build a pretty nasty big block to stick in this thing and be really fast and put an automatic in it, but that's not my point. I'm trying to have fun with something different. I'm trying to show people that you can have some fun with the 305. Now, not everybody's going to put nitrous on them. I understand that. So, but if you want to have fun with it, have fun with it. And that's kind of my goal with this truck. Just have fun with what you got. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg, and you can still have fun. Now, the future plans for this truck, I've got a lot in store this year for him. I'm going to try to stay busy getting him ready, because we got invited to the No Name Nationals. It's going to be a big YouTube event going on at the end of September, 1st of October in Sikeston, Missouri. And that happens to be like 3 hours east of me. So it's pretty close to home. I'm pretty excited that, I got notified or kind of invited to go to this. It's for YouTubers with 500 subscribers or more. Hopefully we can get this thing going and get some of the big names YouTubers there. Really have a big YouTube community event, and I'm pretty excited about going. This might be my first one. When I get talking about it, I get pretty excited, because this is the big time for me right now. Now, there's also a lot of newer YouTube channels that are putting together vehicles that don't have the 500 subscribers. So what I'd like to say is, go to the search engine on YouTube and put in the hashtag #NoNameNationals, and try to find some of those YouTube channels that have less than 500, well, all of them. It doesn't matter if they have less or more, but the ones that are trying to make it to 500 subscribers before the event, they need all the help they can get. And like I said earlier, this is for all YouTube channels, the newer ones, the bigger ones. Hopefully we get a broad range of YouTube channels there to support this thing. It's already starting to be a pretty big deal, and I'm just happy to be part of it. With all that said, I've got a lot of stuff I want to do to this truck. I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull the motor out, freshen it up, because it smokes like a freight train. Last time I took a compression test, number 2 cylinder was like 90 pounds. It's wore out, and the only reason it probably hasn't blown up yet is because it is so wore out. I'm also sticking with that 4-speed transmission. I'll probably have to upgrade the clutch to kind of put up with it. I'm not real sure how this factory clutch is put up with what I've put it through so far. I must have got one of the good ones made on a Wednesday or something. I'm also going to have to upgrade my rear end. I do have a whole nother axle that's set up with 488 gears. Been waiting to put that in. It's going to be kind of an oddball type thing too, that you won't really see put in any type of a drag vehicle, which is mainly what I'm setting this truck up for. Now the 488 gears are really, really low, but I'm going to have to start setting this thing up for the 8th mile, because the track at Sikeston is an 8th mile track, and once I get to a certain speed or time at my home track that I go to at Rogersville, Missouri, they start telling you, you can only run at 8th mile. So I'm just going to start setting this thing up for the 8th mile track, because that's pretty much where I'm going to have to run. So I've rambled on enough about this old truck. Like I said, I've got several videos. I put a playlist up in the corner that you can check out. I've got the playlist for each one of my trucks. You go check those out. I've done a pretty good job of trying to document everything I've done to these trucks, so you can go back and watch the prior videos, see what I've done to this thing. Stay tuned for what is in store for it in the future. Hopefully in the next week or two, I'll have some time to start tearing this thing down. I'm going to pull the bed off of it. I'm going to pull the front clip off it, pull the motor out, transmission, rear end. I'm going to go all the way through this thing. We're going to set him up for the 8th mile and just see if we can hurt some feelings with this little 305. I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you'll stick with me through all this mess I'm going to go through with this truck with the 305 and a 4-speed and trying to take it to the drag strip and be fast. But it's fun, it's different, that's my main thing, and it might be interesting. So stick with me. Until next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling, and we'll catch you later.